Hey all, just gonna show a quick video. We'll use Squig's gold key. He got the gold key because he was the first to order one off me, and he's special. Well, you're all special, but you know. Screwing driver. So follower. So everything is pretty standard. Only thing you got to watch with these, the 570 I made Picksmith. You won't need to worry about this, but is the holes at the bottom, and I actually bricked one of these just before because I was on the phone and I turned this around and I dropped a key pin out while I was talking and turned it around, and I noticed, but I still closed it without a key pin in there, and the driver just went straight down and she's all over Red Rover. So some of these bind at 270 degrees, and it's not a problem for the operation. It's just the edges are so crisp, and I mean they'll come back the other way around there. It's just one of those things, but I don't want to remove material to get it going good because everything's perfectly circular in here, if that makes sense. Like I've been here before and I've tried to, it kind of goes from being a perfect circle to being sort of flat on that side. It's better if I just leave it, and you can kind of, well, I don't know, I can't actually explain why it does it, because when you take the pins out, there's no edge on there whatsoever. Like, I don't know, it's just one of those torsional things. But anyway, I pretty much did that there, but the steps, so that gap there with the key in, even with the key out, that gap there is 2.15 mils. So the head of a key pin, I think I've got one over here. I'll use these ones. These are the latest ones. You know, 2.9. Oh, in frame. Oh, black belt. Oh no, they won't accept my video. Went out of the frame. So that won't, it can't, even with no key in there, can't break, because that, I made sure that gap wasn't too big. So anyway, even with the key in, what I'd recommend is just gutting it at along this area between the gap and there, so it's literally like, you know, 45 degrees, you could say. But you can't actually go wrong anywhere. I would avoid probably doing a 180. You know, it's standard stuff. I mean, hey, if you're really worried, whack a shim in there. Although in saying that, I haven't tried. I can't locate my shims. Are they here? Yes. Well, let's try it. But if you're really worried, you can go for a shim. Honestly, it won't even matter if you gut it close to there. See, that's doing that now along the other holes. It's just because the edges are so sharp, it's just not ideal, because it sort of catches. So like I said, that line there is the best. And so you don't need a sleeve, but hey, if you want to for the first time, I don't know about if My lock will let you put a sleeve in. Oh, there you go. Everything's sleevable. Oh, there you go. So there you go, you can, if you want to, you can sleeve the bastard. And then you're good. So up to you, but you don't need a sleeve. But that's it really. And then the only other thing you'll find is in there, because that's not sprung when you put this in. I mean, that's pretty logical. You've got to turn it around to the position that it came, and it actually is pretty much 90 or slightly more degrees. But anyway, nothing's gnarly or going to catch you out really. It's quite a docile gut lock. I mean, there's far worse out there in factory locks. But yeah, the big thing here, actually the danger of Will Robinson, is don't drop key pin and then turn it back around, because she's game over. But even if you do that, to be honest, I just machine the top off that, and I mean, this is a standard Avis plug. I can easily ream out for, postage and snail mail. I could do another one of these. It only takes me probably 10 minutes to do this bit. This is the easy bit. All the work is in the plug. And even if you munt the springs, actually on that note, if you want to change the characteristics of this lock, like it will actually become easier to turn. I mean, it's a nice turn anyway. There's no real resistance here. You could make sure the springs are, I don't have a spare Bible on me, but I'm using 83 series springs because they're a high quality spring that I've got out of generic 83 cores. They do protrude because I'm increased the diameter of this by 0.6 mil. They still protrude out a little bit, and so you're pushing the drivers down. There's a bit of tension there, so if you found a shorter, higher quality spring that had the right diameter for the drivers to fit in, you could actually change the characteristics of this a little bit. I wouldn't go for any more tension because it does mess with the stack height, and you could find the key doesn't work. I have had that before with a lot of extra tension. Was there anything else? It might be worth mentioning that I do my best to keep everything circular. It's actually really hard when you're banging in pins and all that sort of stuff, which is why I made, jigs the exact right size and all that sort of stuff, so that it distributes the pressure. And I did my best to, I've obviously got to be bloody gentle with the things. But they are fettled at the end with a file and sandpaper, so please don't be alarmed if there's imperfections, file marks. I sand them, file them, and each one sort of individually fitted to a point. I try to do the least I can. And if I do my job right, I shouldn't really, in theory, need to, but I haven't got that good yet. Is there anything else worth mentioning? The key pins are standard Avis key pins. And I have taken, on average, there's 2 out of this lot that I managed to just use the key pins as they were, and you add 2 numbers onto the bitting, and I've cut the keys to code, and so I can provide those, and I've actually got a record of who got what. I mean, it's easy enough to decode. It's real basic, but just saying, if I could actually send more keys out with the laser engraving or whatever, anyway, it's all recorded and blah blah blah. Some of the others needed 0.5 or 0.6 or 0.7 off the key pins, and I guess I still don't know the reasons for the imperfections I'm getting, because I go to great care, but turns out a circle's not a circle's not a circle, and no matter how finely I machine things, there's always things that are like, yeah. So I guess that's just the nature of, maybe I'm finding imperfections in some of the Avis stuff. Some of the plugs are subtly different. Some of the keys are subtly different. So it's all fun and games. But I hope you enjoy. I put a heap of effort into these ones and try to get everything just And if there's anything that you don't think's quite, if you're not stoked on or whatever, just let me know. I'm sure we can figure something out. Yeah, that's about it really. Enjoy. And thanks very much, by the way. I mean that. It's quite, flattering, I guess you could say, having people want your stuff. And because originally, I'm sure you've seen the story, this whole thing came about because I wanted to, in good humour, shove it to HV because he said he could pick anything. So yeah, here's another little gem of information. Is to this day, I have not stuck a pick in one of these. So I'll have to get my big boy pants on and get stuck into that at some point. Ugh. So enjoy. I've also got, if I want to make a because this will be a decent challenge. 5 pins standard keyway. So I do have these here, which are like the Dangermouse. So I like their bow on them too. They're just quite a cool design. And I love that they have restricted on them and do not copy because it's just naughty. And so I was thinking, without waffling on and on, that I would do a 6-pin version with this keyway in it, because this is quite a decent keyway. There you go. Focus your bloody thing. Jeez. Technology's cool, they said. So that, I reckon, if you get a handle on that, which by the way, not one person yet has picked any of these. So good luck, and I'm sure we'll be able to work something out for the first person who nails it. So thanks again, and yeah, good crew. Been enjoying kicking around the traps. Even though I haven't been doing much in LPU, I've been sort of enjoying AP and making little inroads here and there. But choice. Catch you later.